It seems like we always have audio trouble, but I think we got it all hammered out now. We got the new internet connection rolling, so let's see if this show plays. Yo, what's up? If you're out there and you could hear me, say something. I'll have to get my glasses on to read the comments. Yo, are you out there? If you're out there, end of 2025 right here, talking about crazy people, crazy shit, how much crazy shit has gone on this year, how crazy people behave, zombie. Yo, it's a live. Is it working? Can you guys hear me? It's the end of the year. Talking about the crazies, the crazy fest that went on. Yeah, year of crazy festivals. Everybody breaking out of their shell doing crazy shit. Everybody. All kinds of crazy shit. All kinds of fraud, all kinds of crime. Oh man, and these influencers, man, they got nothing short to talk about. You know, they got fraud. They all got the same stories. So they can all share each other's story all day long. So it's like a never-ending story. Man, what a crazy world we live in. Is anybody out there? Anybody? Official background music of I'm Just Saying.
Yeah, don't know, it's a crazy world. You open the paper, what do you see? Terrible things that happen constantly. Kill you.
Whoa, that's probably crazy loud. I think I got my controls up too high. Yeah, it's a crazy world when I got the controls up that high. Can you guys hear me? Is anybody out there? Can anybody chime in and say, is the audio working? I got the new internet? Am I even on the live? Are we connected? Hello? Does anybody connect? Does anybody talk? Does anybody chat? How are we supposed to talk about the crazy world if no one does any talking? Yo, man, come on in here. Can you hear it? Is it making noise? Is the audio on? Are we there? Talking about the end of the year crazies. Is anyone there? No? Nobody? Anybody? Chime in if you're there. Say something. Hello? Can you hear the audio? Oh, nice. It makes noise. Cool. Hello, how you guys doing? Yeah, it's a crazy world we're living in. So much crazy shit's going on all around us everywhere you go, man. It's just a madhouse. So I can't be part of it. I can't follow along with the same narrative in the same stream all day long. I can't be the sixth guy tag chaining the same information, you know. That's part of the craziness. The craziness is they drag you into a loophole on one side or the other with a story, and then 9 guys shared that same story all day long, and everybody's just regurgitating pieces of that story that they heard all day long. That's craziness. You know, they're only showing you the stuff to make you unhappy. They're only showing you the stuff to make you mad. They're not showing you all of the context. They don't want you to be calm. They don't want you to discern information. They need you to be stirred up. So that's why they allow all the crazy shit to happen. You know, they let the crazies run amok to keep the regular people at bay. The regular people are going to avoid all the craziness. They're going to stay at home. They're going to be mellow. They're going to stay out of the fight. The crazies, by the time the regular mellow people get involved, the crazies will have already taken over everything, which is pretty much kind of what's going on right now. And the only way to solve that is the extreme. And then those guys will come in, they'll be labeled as the problem when they'll actually, in turn, in the interim, be the solution. You know, just like people bitch about the Crusades, but the Crusades weren't a problem. The Crusades were an answer to 1,400 years of killing. So it's a crazy world we live in. And all these wackos that have the platform just to be whack, I feel sorry for them. You know, I'm just a regular Joe. I'm not trying to really get attention. I'm just trying to talk to regular people. I'm not trying to share headlines or fake news or weird fucking stories. You know, I'm just trying to reach out to regular human beings and talk to them like regular human beings. You know, that's what we don't do anymore. Just a regular conversation. You know, what do you see? You look on a video, you see a fat grown man dancing around in a girl's bikini. Why? Because he needs attention. He's too sad to go outside and tell the neighbors hi and become friends. So he sits in his house and he twirls in a bikini. And then 15 influencers post that picture. That becomes viral. The guy becomes famous. He gets paid. So the next thing he does is keep dancing in his panties day in and day out. And what it ends up doing is we've ended up making a world full of gestures. A world full of clowns and a world full of gestures. And the day that I become the full-on clown gesture, I'll leave. The day that I have to dance around in a fruity suit or behave some kind of different way than I would normally behave or talk in a manner that I wouldn't talk in or use a different voice, people complain about my voice, that's fine. It is how it sounds. It's not something for me to adjust or fix or try to change for other people. You know, that's the way we're made. It's like you're short as you are. You're as tall as you are. Hello. You know, it's a crazy, absolutely crazy world we live in. And it's a clown world. And they're making more gestures every day. Every single day you see another person jumping on the clown world, getting on the internet, getting on that TikTok. I won't use that app. I won't be on that app. I won't watch the people on that app because every time you view it, you just buy into that garbage. Hello, how you doing there? Lily Lop, Loop. Just chilling, just talking to people. No headlines. We're not carrying other creators. We're not shouting out the creators. We're not playing back and forth with the media. We're just talking about real life and how social media has made an entire new breed of human beings, which is the jester. That used to be in olden times, there were few jesters in town. And nowadays, the majority of bored people sitting at home have become jesters at their own will. They dress in clown suits. They make what they call content, but it's goofy, silly, and has no actual content. I want to share content. I want to share thoughts that actually help, you know, like I got on here the other day and I was talking about like not drinking beer, and some guy got in the comments and got all shitty and was like, oh, you know, sucks for you. You can't handle your drink. And it's like, it's funny. You want to do something better for yourself and people will ridicule you, and people will ridicule you because they're enjoying wrecking themselves and they don't want to look at that fact. God forbid I stop putting poison in my body on my own choice just because I decided I don't want to. It doesn't have to be a special reason. There didn't have to be a problem. There doesn't have to be an issue for you to want to change something. You know, and a lot of people act as if for you to change something, that it's an issue. And if it's something that they like, they'll take it personal because they think you're changing their issues. But we're all in our own lane. We're all doing our own thing. You know, I always say, like, you're driving your own drive. You know, you're in control of you. You know, you don't have to be part of the craziness. The craziness is all around you. Yeah, I don't know anything about real estate, so probably won't talk about that. Not one to talk about things I don't know about. You know, I know about life. I know about people. Spend my whole life talking to people, working with people every day. So I think that's the best thing to do is just talk to people and see what they have to say. What do you guys think? You think it's been a crazy year? You think there's a lot of crazies out there? When you pick up your social media, do you see nothing but crazy, silly nonsense? Do you see all the people? Oh, no, thank you. I don't wear jewelry of any kind. I'd have to take it off every day at work, all the time. What do I do for work? I've been a tattoo artist for like 30 years. Started tattooing in Denver in 1996. I currently work in Arizona. But I mean, that's another place where it's crazy. If you look at tattoo artists in the last 5 years, half of them have become these content creators, and they spend all day making silly videos instead of doing cool tattoos. You know, instead of being at their shops with the doors open during the times they're supposed to be, they're off hiking and taking pictures of silly shit and hoping that those views are going to get them more important than their actual work ethic. You know, work ethic is strong. If you don't have work ethic as you get older, you lose out because it pays off to have it. No, I'm well not at work. I work my shifts every day. I'm not at work. It's nighttime where I live. Yeah, so no, that's not what I'm doing. But hey, thanks though. Nope. I'm just talking about the crazy year and all the crazy stuff I've seen, all the crazy stuff we've seen. You know, you guys could chime in about stuff that you've seen. It's crazy. You could be on the subject. Not technically self-employed. I work at somebody else's shop, but I have a set schedule that I work, and these aren't the hours that I work. I mean, it's literally 9:30 at night on a Tuesday. So yeah, I'm not at work. I have a pretty cush job in a nice town. I don't work a lot of crazy hours. I don't claim to. I worked for 30 years. For 27 years, I worked 10, 11, 12 hours a day. I'm just tired. Can't work like that anymore. I'm sure they do. A lot of people do a lot of things. But everybody has their own schedule, man. Yeah, everybody has their own schedule, bro. Yeah, work ethic. I'm fucking 50 years old. I own everything. I own everything of mine. It's all paid for. That's work ethic, man. I go to work every day when I'm supposed to. I work the hours. I take care of my clients. That's work ethic, bro. I don't have to work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to have work ethic. I mean, if you're going to try to give me some kind of hassle and you don't want to talk about the subject, I can always just silence you, man. Try to have positive conversations with people. Try to share about stuff. Oh, man. These kind of people, man, I don't care about that. That's your opinion. There we go. There we go. All right. Take a time out, bro. Take a time out. Time out for a minute. Time out with the lame questions. I don't have any work ethic. Here's another person that's got about like a half of a brain. I don't have any work ethic. I have all kinds of work ethic, man. I've done the same job for 30 years. None of you turds can say that. Yeah, you haven't done the same job for 30 years. That's work ethic. That's totally work ethic. You show me someone you know at our age that's 50 years old that's been doing the same job for 30 years old. That's work ethic. That's going to work every single day. I've had my own shop. I've moved different locations. I've lived in several different states. You know, not on here to talk about me and my accomplishments or shit. What I was on here talking about was how crazy the world has gotten. You know, it's just like people like that. They gotta troll negative energy instead of, you know, share something they saw. Did you see a crazy video? Did you see an event this year that you thought was crazy? You want to talk about it? We could talk about it. It's the end of the year, you know. Have you made any major changes that you're going to take into the new year? You know? So, you know, are you going to go into the new year 30 days sober? Are you going to go into the new year with a positive attitude? Are you going to go into the new year with a new job? Fortunately, me, several of those things are going to happen for me. You know, it's a crazy world out there, and you don't have to be sucked in by the negative people. They're going to come no matter what. They're always going to attack the positive people. If you're the guy sitting there having food without a drink, the drinkers are going to expect you to have a drink. You know, if you go to a party, the people on drugs are going to try to give you the drugs. They need you to be part of what they're doing. That's how the attention works. Everybody needs to have the attention of the other guy. It frustrates them if you're the guy who sits in the corner peacefully and soulfully without needing that attention. They want to know what's wrong with that guy. What's wrong with the quiet guy? There's nothing wrong with the quiet guy. There's never been anything wrong with the quiet guy. Unless it's like the creepy quiet guy. You know, like the dude from Psycho. That's the kind of quiet guy you worry about. But the guy who minds his own business and does his own thing and goes to work and lives his quiet life, you don't worry about that guy. You know, people are always going to judge you if you try to better yourself. People are always going to stand against you if you don't want to do the things they're doing. It's just the way it is. You know, swaller like swaller. You know, that nobody wants to be you know, misbehaving with somebody sitting there who doesn't misbehave, telling them not to while they're doing it. They want other people that are misbehaving the exact same way to hang around them. You know, it's funny. The cliches we heard when we were children were very real. You know, it's like, you know, you are the company that you keep. If you hang around thieves and criminals, you usually end up stuck in theft and criminal type activities. So, yeah, it's a crazy world. It's an internet full of jesters. It's an internet full of people with no identity who have a lot of opinions and a lot of messages. But then, like, if you'll go to their pages and look for them, they won't have identities. They won't have pictures. They won't actually be them. But they'll be willing to get in your post and in your comments and ridicule and message and over message and repeat message you. But when you go to look them up, they won't have any posts for you to post your messages on or for you to respond. So that's kind of the world, you know. It's like a jester, coward world. Hide behind a screen, hide behind a fake name, hide behind fake stuff, and claim that's what you are, you know. But yeah, I don't do that. I stand with the truth. I stand with God. I stand with faith. You know, I think that a lot of people need help, and all they need is one person listening to them to help them. That's literally all it takes. All it takes is one person to have heard them and talked to them in their moment that could change their life. But instead, we have all these people who are willing to chime in nothing but negative poison to the world. You know, The fact that the internet was made and it's become more of a funnel for poison information than it's become the funnel for positive and valuable information that it was originally intended is just proof of the evil of mankind's intentions. Because we intended to make something amazing for mankind, all the information at your fingertips. But what we made was a funnel for people to push hate and negativity against anything that they don't like. You know, instead of just clicking to a page that they like, they'll stay on the page they don't like. We've made a world of clowns and jesters. We've made a world of behind the screen hate angry monsters, and it's sad. It's a generation of people that hide behind a screen and a keyboard and a fake name and a no picture persona or a little cartoon so that they can spew out their sad frustrations and hate on the world. And it's too bad. It's really too bad. You know, I wish those people could, find something they liked and then they could make videos about that. You know, if they liked cats, they could hold up their cat and they could be like, oh, I like cats, you know. But instead, they'll go find your video and they'll hate you. And they'll make videos that are poisonous with hate. You'll never catch me picking a specific group to attack. I won't pick a headline to follow. I won't chase the information that everyone's talking about. I'm not going to put people in the box and then complain about what they're doing in the box in their video, you know, so that you'll click on my video because their video name was connected to mine. That shit's crazy. If it doesn't fly, it doesn't fly. I get it. You guys don't want to hear it, you don't have to hear it. That's the cool thing about it. It's just there. So, for the haters, and shit, anybody that saw those fools' comments and has any question about my work ethic, I've been doing the same job for 30 years. So, yeah. I pay my bills, I paid my debts, I pay my dues. I'm just a regular guy. Put my shoes on one shoe at a time. I don't think I'm any better than anybody else. Maybe worse than some, maybe better than some. But just a regular guy, just living a regular, normal life, trying to get by in a world full of craziness. So, all I gotta say is, I'm just saying, it's my opinion. You know, I'm not telling anybody what they should do or how they should do. I'm just saying what I've observed in all this time. You know, that's the truth of it. So, we're our own worst enemies. You make all this. You make your own hate. These people that end up disappointed with themselves because they've made these videos that are negative, and they look stupid on themselves. Well, that's too bad for them. You know, I guess it's a learning curve. So, all right. It's the end of the year. It's a crazy world. Try not to get sucked in by it. Stay on your own path. Find something positive. I'm just saying, Revradchad, God loves you. Peace out. Head out with Deadbolt.
Believe in the government? How do you like that? Well, look out, man. Don't you know it's a creepy world?